Hey everybody, welcome to our regularly scheduled Tuesday team call. Super excited tonight to hear from elite coach Dia Myers about her experience at the New Leader Conference. We had Carrie Klaus on a couple of weeks ago to talk kind of about what she got out of it, and I'm excited to hear from Dia tonight to get her experience and hopefully get you guys focused in on this. This is really why I'm doing this, is I want to get as many people at next year's conference as we can possibly get. It's, I think, a unique opportunity and something really cool that I think gives coaches on this level sort of a chance to be the top dog at the meeting. And that's the feedback that I've heard so far. So excited to hear what Dia has to say. Before I get to that, I just want to really plug the event that we have coming up in Dallas on March 28th. You've probably seen a lot about this, so I won't go into a whole lot of detail. Basically, Jimmy Hayes Nelson and I got together and are organizing a men's leadership conference. The reason I am wanting to impress upon you the importance of getting your people registered is we have decided we're going to cap ticket sales at 500. We've got room for more than 500, but the event, I think, loses a little bit if it becomes too big, which is another reason we're not going to be telestreaming this. We've had a lot of people asking us, why don't you broadcast it live and do a webcast? That's a nice idea, but it really sort of takes away from the value of the event for the people who are attending. If you can watch it online, why do you fly to Dallas? And the answer really is that if you come to Dallas, you're going to get to meet a lot of people. And I know from my own personal experience that attending events like this and networking with people, the types of people who show up at these events, is what has made the difference in my career as a Beachbody coach. I mean, there's just no question in my mind about it. That's how I met Jimmy. Jimmy and I became friends because we met through events, and then we continued to sort of see each other at events and, became closer and closer and closer to the point now where we talk, probably every other day. He's a guy that, even though he's technically my competition, he's somebody that I bounce ideas off of all the time. I mean, before I go do something, I talk to Jimmy about it, and he does the same with me. He's launching kind of a new training program. I've really helped him put that together, and so have a lot of other people, Mike Ryan and Josh Spencer and a lot of the other guys that we're really tight with. That's only possible because we went to the events. And if you have people who are kind of on the fence, I'm happy to talk to them about it. But I think you really want to impress upon them the importance of getting to the events. And hopefully Dia is going to touch on that a little bit tonight. But we're creeping up on 400 tickets at this point. And I do expect that this is going to sell out. There have been a lot of people who have contacted me with, especially just within the last probably week. A lot of people contact me with, okay, where do I go? Where's my hotel? When should I fly in? When should I fly out? People are making arrangements now. I expect that we're going to sell out, and I don't want people to think, oh, I'll just wait until the last minute. Registration is going to close March 14th, or when we hit 500, and I think we'll probably hit 500 before then, just with the way sales are going. And we now have a couple of other cross-line leaders who contacted me. For example, Kevin Jensen, who you may know, his wife Milan is one of the founders, and she is like Tracy Morrow's upline. Basically, he's coming, and he told me he's going to bring a lot of people. So I just don't want you guys to miss out on this opportunity. That's really why I'm pressing it. You can go to trainingcampdallas.com for more information. I'm also putting together a list of the people from our team that are going to go. And so I've posted in our Fit Club Network group, and I'll pin that post as well. I've created a Google document where I want people to go in, add their name and their email address, so I know who's going to be there, really for two reasons. One, so that I know who's going to be there, so I know who to expect to see. And two, because I want to start doing some Zoom calls for the guys that are going to be attending the events ahead of schedule. And probably on a continuing basis. Attending an event like this is a major signal to me that you're really serious about this business and that you really want to work this business. And I'm just at a stage right now in my career where that's really who I'm interested in working with. I'm not interested in working with people who talk a big game and, say they're going to do this and say they're going to do that and then, don't. I'm interested in people who really want to work and really want to create something special with this business opportunity that we have in front of us. And attending that event and participating in some of the stuff that I'm going to put together for you guys is a major way to signal to me that that's where you want to be. We may also do some stuff with some of the other leaders, the other 12 guys who are going to be speaking at those events. Hopefully I'm going to have a lot of them appearing on our team call. We're going to start kind of doing some reciprocal stuff like that. So that's my big plug for the event. Now I want to get to our speaker, which is Dia. So hold on, let me unmute you. Dia, are you there?
I am here.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us tonight. Really, we're kind of keying in on the New Leader Conference, which you attended in January, and your experience there. But, we've kind of got an open forum here. We've got about a half an hour. And so, if there's other stuff you want to touch on and talk about, I would love to hear it. So why don't I just turn it over to you? Tell me about that New Leader Conference and your experience.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the call. I was really humbled and just honored that, you thought of me to speak tonight. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that and all the guidance you've given me over the years. You and Monica, that is. So one of there's so many takeaways, and you touched on it, in the introduction and especially talking about the importance of attending, training events that are offered. There's so much incredible value in getting and earning events and paying to go to events and just being at events, period, for your business. And it's not just about what you're going to learn, but it's also about who you're going to meet, the contacts that you're going to make, and just the opportunities that come out of events like that. And attending so let me just put it in perspective. I live in New York, and the New Leader Conference was, in the middle of the winter. It was a 1.5-day event in California. So there were people who decided not to go to this because it was a 1.5 days and, trekking across the country to spend, 36 hours somewhere. Some people might not see value in that. But I have to tell you, leaders are the people who make an effort and who do these things, who decide that I'm going to do something that someone else is not going to do. So yes, I got on a plane on a Thursday morning, and we got to the event. There was a reception that evening, and Beachbody really rolls out sort of the red carpet for all of our events. And we had it was really a behind the curtain opportunity. I have never been to our headquarters. I've been a coach for 4 years, and I've never been to Beachbody headquarters. So shame on me for that, but I made sure that I participated in this event so that I could, kick the tires and get off the elevator and see where all the magic happens. I mean, our entire support is corporate. We couldn't do what we do without corporate. So being able to go to corporate and see everyone who works behind the scenes and meet the people who do our customer service and who are out there day to day supporting what we do was really important to me. Personally. And at the first night of the event, there was literally a parade of every single department coming, the people in every single department who came out, and we got to just thank them and meet who everyone is. So the heads of every department. I really didn't take that lightly because, like I said, we couldn't do what we do without, the people who answer the phone and who are there 24 hours a day, really making sure that we're able to be out there doing what we need to do. The training. So, there was training with some of the top leaders in the coach network for different reasons. So Tracy Morrow spoke about the integrity of the network and, approaching new leaders and making sure that is sort of our foundation, that, we are ethical in our business practices and that we are, out there leading from the front and doing the right things, and that we're teaching our coaches to do the same thing. And of course, Melanie Mitro spoke, who was the top coach of last year. She talked about, how to recruit. I mean, really tangible things that we could take away from and bring to our teams. Who else? So Trina Gray also spoke and really sort of, I take different things away. Everyone takes away different nuggets, right, from all of these events. And so what I'm doing is really just kind of giving you those nuggets from a large scale. And so Trina Gray really just talked about giving us permission to be ourselves, right? And to just to be okay being yourself and, operating your business the way you would. So all of us come from, in one organization, and we grow and we develop in our teams, and we should have roots in our organization, but it's okay to be you. You don't have to be your sponsor, or you don't have to be another coach. Be you. That's what's going to make you successful. That's what makes you authentic. And that's what makes you, people attract to you. And what else? I mean, I wrote down a couple of things that I just wanted to make sure that I highlighted. How could I forget? So it was right before the launch of the 21-Day Fix Extreme. So we had the opportunity to work out in Beachbody's gym and work out with Autumn right before the launch of the 21-Day Fix Extreme. It wouldn't be Beachbody, I guess, if we didn't get some kind of swag. So all of us walked away with new 21-Day Fix Extreme gear to take back and to share. We also were filmed while we were there. And the promo reel is out now about, the coaches and the opportunity that we had to work out with her. So if you haven't seen that, you should go check it out on the YouTube channel. And, I think, it was a good tool to use, for people to kind of see what it's like. And also it gives them a little inside view of even what it is to be a coach, because that particular video, if you haven't seen it, talks about how we as coaches were able to get that sneak peek access. And don't we have customers who love to work out with the trainers and want to be a part of what it is that we're a part of? So, when you share that, you're sharing not only what you can do as a customer, right? You can buy this 21-Day Fix Extreme, which is awesome. But, as a coach, guess what? You get to work out with Autumn. You get to go to LA. You get to, go to Beachbody's headquarters and work out with Autumn. So I think it's, it's short, it's to the point, and it's really useful. And what else? So the networking, right? Beachbody likes to throw parties. So that, in the 36 hours that we were there, the first night, we hung out and we were able to meet with the other leaders. That's really, I think, one of the most valuable experiences for me getting into any event. It plugs you in to the other people who are doing what we do. And oftentimes, you can get caught up in life, but when you're around people who share the same goals and are positive and have the same vision, it just re-energizes you, to know that you can just sort of go back out and that, you're doing the right thing. And the ideas, we have our own Facebook group also of all of the attendees. So there's that, the think tank sort of brainstorming that happens every day, and the sharing of ideas. This is a business where, people are fine for the most part sharing what it is they're doing that's working for them. And, that's something that you're able to do in a safe environment where, people are okay doing that. And, like Dave said, Jimmy is quote unquote competition, but we work together because we all, at the end of the day, want to help as many people as possible.
That's awesome. Let me kind of just touch on a couple of things. The one thing I didn't really talk about, which you did, which I have always found really valuable, is just the opportunity to network with corporate a little bit, and I've been very lucky and have really taken a lot of those opportunities every chance I get. I think sometimes it's really overlooked. It really helps to have friends at corporate. There are times when we need things, and if you come out of nowhere with a request to a guy like a Jeff Hill or a Lewis Ross or, even some of the event staff like Marissa, Rob Campbell, those guys, or Michael Neiman, if you come out of nowhere and they don't know who you are, you kind of just end up being another voice demanding something from them. But if you take the chance, take the opportunities to kind of get to know these guys, you realize they're just normal people. Jeff Hill is one of the most everyday normal people that I've ever met. And, because I've gotten to know him through events, if I send him a text message, he responds, and I've got some access to him that, I might not otherwise have if I had not taken those opportunities. So I think that's huge. And also, it's kind of funny, Rob Campbell's one guy who comes to mind, and Rob is a little bit in the background for most people, but Rob really organizes a lot of the big events, and things happen at those events. Paperwork gets lost. People's name badges don't come through, or, their tickets or whatever are missing. And, I remember I met Rob on a trip that we qualified for that was like a Success Club incentive trip where what was it? The top 4 or 5 Success Club point earners from the first quarter of whatever year that was, like 2011, I think, got to go on these trips where they scouted out locations. And at the time, Rob was brand new with corporate, and nobody knew that Rob was going to end up being, a really important guy at events. And I just connected with him. And, since then, there have been times when I've needed like a favor. Like, hey, Rob, I got this coach in this problem. Can you help? And so, those opportunities to really network with corporate, I think, are really undervalued. I think sometimes we just focus on, this idea of, what's in it for me. And there is a lot more in it than, relationship wise that you can build with those people. One of the things that I've kind of heard from not just Carrie, but a lot of people was that, that event was sort of positioned you guys as, being there. There's, except for Tracy and Trina and Melanie, you guys were kind of the top dogs in the room, and so talk to me a little bit about that, and, whether you had that sense of kind of, I don't know if it's a sense of importance, maybe that's not qualifying it the right way or talking about it the right way, but talk about that a little bit, what it's like to be at an event and have the spotlight on you. And, I don't know, how many people were there, like 100 or something?
Yeah, there were maybe 120 tops.
Okay.
It was a very small, intimate training. At least, I felt intimate to me. Having been a coach for 4 years, you've sort of seen some of the progression of the company, and when the events, first start, how much smaller they were. I mean, think about Summit, 9,000 coaches last year. We're moving to 20,000 coaches this year. So when you can be a part of something that's that small and intimate, and get to speak right to Michael and to Jeff and to Rob, at these events, and, put a face to a name of the things that, the people that you see, it was really awesome. In fact, it was walking in, there was a reserve section at the front row, right? For elite coaches. And it was kind of like, oh my God, like I'm actually sitting up at the front row.
How many elite coaches were there?
Jenny, raising your hand?
Yeah, because do you remember me? I tapped you on the shoulder and I was sitting right behind you.
Yeah.
I was so starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, there she is.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is like really surreal. And walking in and everyone knowing your name and knowing who you are, because, maybe they've seen your name, appear, or they've seen your photograph appear, or, whatever sort of goes on behind the curtain, that when you walk in and they, you say who you are, or, you show your name tag, they're like, they treat you like, royalty, I suppose. It was really kind of surreal, because I'm not really that kind of person that, is like, yes, I'm hootie tootie, whatever, right? Like it's just, that's just not me. So when I was like, oh, like, I don't know, maybe I should have expected front row seats, but I didn't. It was 100 people. Like, you could see from wherever you were in the room. But, that was really like the first experience after having made elite, in the, to sort of see what that's like. And, having, like I said, sort of, it's really like the Cheers thing, like everyone know your name. It was just really crazy, So yeah, and I think the back, they gave us swag, bags and things to sort of take away. And, for me, I was just really I was so excited about getting access to this information and really being seen as the new leaders of the company. And that was first of all, it was an inaugural event. It was the very first new leadership conference ever. So we'll be the first class that can say that we did that, right, Jen? It's like, we were there, we did that, and so it was just an awesome experience.
That is so cool. So how many elite coaches were there
at this event?
Yeah.
So it was the whole first row. I think were there like 20 or 30 maybe?
Like 20 or 30, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good turnout, for people, because the conference. So talk a little bit about like qualifications for, I know the qualifications, they haven't told us yet what the qualifications are going to be for next year. I have heard though, from the CAB meetings that just happened in Utah that they are going to do it again. And so it's coming back. I don't know exactly what the qualifications are going to be. They're probably going to be kind of similar to what it was this year, but talk to me a little bit about what the qualifications were when you qualified. And so, at least people can start to kind of wrap their mind around what you need to do in order to get to something like this.
So if memory serves me correctly, the qualifications, so first of all, you had to be at least a 2-star diamond coach.
Yeah.
So so that's sort of the preliminary requirement. But in addition to being a 2-star coach, you had to, or a new 2-star, 2 to 4-star. You have to have qualified to be a new 2 to 4-star diamond coach within a certain period of time, but also had to have a certain number of elite points to receive an invitation, and also to have your hotel room paid for. So there were sort of different levels of qualification for the event. And I think you had to have, I think it was 20 elite points between September of last year to December of last year to qualify to have your hotel room paid for. But you had to have become a new 2 to 4-star diamond coach between September to December, I think.
You know what?
So
it's
just kind of sketchy for me because everything happened so fast for me last year that I went from a star diamond to a 5-star.
Right.
So it's a little.
I found the FAQ on it.
Okay,
and,
cool.
And so location, event, times, all that stuff is all to be determined. So that none of that's out, but they have qualification details. And what it says is rank advance from 1-star or lower to 2-star or higher between January 1st of 2015 and December 31st of 2015, and earn 10 or more elite points between September 1st of 2015 and December 31st. So that, really keying in on the latter part of the year as far as elite points. So it's really designed to capture, and then anybody who goes to the big leadership retreat is not eligible to attend the new leader conference. So it's just sort of another qualifier they have. But it's really designed to capture newer coaches who are advancing in rank. So that doesn't necessarily mean you're a new coach, right? It's not like, if you have to be a brand new coach who advances to 2-star within 1 year. It's really more about, you getting from, 1-star or lower, so 1-star or diamond, up to 2-star, moving up to 2-star. And I just want to put in a big plug for that. Beyond the new leader conference, let's just kind of talk, business sense here a little bit. Moving to 2-star diamond is a huge step in your business. It allows you to open a second business center. And so, without getting into like too much detail about how that works, and for those of you who have a spouse or significant other who's in the business, you kind of already know what it's like to operate a second business center. What it allows you to do is push sales down into your organization so that you collect a retail commission at that. So if you're up here and your other one's down here, right, you collect this retail commission down here, and then all the volume flows up to your primary business center. So you're getting paid essentially twice, assuming you have volume on your other leg, which if you're a 2-star, you probably do. You get paid twice essentially on that same transaction. And so getting to 2-star diamond, to me anyway, is one of the major points in our business. And just to give you a little look under the hood of what our business looks like, what we've done is, Monica was able to open a second business center really fast. She got to 2-star, like, I don't even know how long it took her, not very long, and opened that second business center under me. Okay. So now we have, volume down here that flows not through 1, but 2 business centers. Then our goal was to take that business center, her second business center, and get it to 2-star, and got it there. And then she opened another business center. And so now, all the sales are going down here and they're flowing up through 3 business centers. And then we took my business center as well. And I can't remember the exact chronology or whatever the word is that I'm looking for there. But my business center as well qualified for 2-star, opened my second business center. The goal now is to get my second business center and her third business center to 2-star. Why? So that we can open another series of business centers, because there's just a huge profit motive behind that. So beyond getting to the event, I like to think of, things like Premier and Elite and the New Leader Conference and the Leadership Conference and all of this stuff. It's great. The recognition is great. The events are super, super fun. And there should be a motive behind, qualifying for this stuff, so you can attend and get the information and meet the people and go to the event. But getting to 2-star Diamond in and of itself, when we qualified for 2-star Diamond, there was no other incentive other than you get to open another business center. And that was enough for me. I was like, oh, okay, another profit center, I'm in. Like, that's great. Let's do it. Let's bust a move. Let's get there. So, really focus on that and getting to 2-star Diamond. And for those of you guys who are kind of like, well, I don't even know what that means. Essentially, if you look at your business center, you've got 2 legs, right? It means you've personally sponsored a diamond in each one of those legs. And then there's some other qualifications that go along with that. And you can talk to your sponsor or me about that if you have more questions about how to get to 2-star. But essentially, you got to sponsor 2 people that go diamond. And when you start to do that, not only do you, qualify for events like this, not only do you get to open a second business center, and not only do you get to take advantage of the beauty of our comp plan, but it really establishes you as a leader, and I think that's another sort of really important thing. And maybe I'll just flip it back to Dia really quickly. What's have you seen any sort of difference in the way your team responds to you as, a result of making Elite and attending, the New Leader Conference and kind of, having that spotlight shine on you a little bit? Have you seen a difference in the way people respond to you or just even in difference in the way you kind of carry yourself?
Absolutely. In fact, some of my team is on the call tonight. So
I see them.
No, absolutely. It's first of all, I really think that it does help give people vision. Because if you have achieved a certain thing, whatever that thing is that's important to you, people, it shows them that it's possible, first of all. And right, because when people join you as a coach, they're trusting you and they're trusting what you stand for and what they believe that they can do with you. And so if you do it, it just creates a different level of belief in your leadership abilities and in your abilities, period, as a coach. So I think it was huge. I think that seeing, for the most part, they see me as me, right? The same person that's just, it's me. But I do think that from the outside looking in, there is a different level of people seeing you differently because you have that title. But, and when you're seen as a leader, people treat you as a leader. And, it's our goal to develop more leaders, right? Because once you've done it, so more importantly for me, because I've done it, now I can show them how to do it, and so that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about, being elite and being, on the wall, right? Which is sort of the 5-star and above wall that we have, private access to when you become a 5-star diamond. Just the knowledge that we have just from being around other leaders, being able to pass that down and help rise up my team is really important to me.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this is another thing that really, you don't really think about it, I think, as a newer coach, about the importance of your success and how that plays into building a team. And the way I always like to talk about it is, whatever I do as a coach gives the people on my team permission to do the same thing. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. But if you look at Success Club, if I make Success Club that gives permission to you guys to make Success Club, because you see, okay, Dave is making Success Club. If I don't make Success Club, then I'm setting a message that Success Club just isn't important. It's the same thing with advancing in rank, with attending, all these events, with making things like Elite and Premier. The more that we continue to do those things, the more we give other people permission to have that level of success, because we're saying to them in a way, hey, this is important. That's why I'm having you guys on this call. And Jen, we'll get you on the call as well, about, why would you spend your time qualifying for an event? Is it so you can fly out to LA and go see corporate? I mean, well, kind of, but that's a piece of it. But a bigger piece of it is really what you're doing for your team, and the permission that you give the people on your team to have the same level of success that you've had. And it just somehow makes it more accessible. It's like sometimes a lot of this stuff seems so far out of reach, and it's way over there, and I don't even know. It's just way off in space, and I don't even know what it is. But then all of a sudden, somebody that goes out and does something like this and qualifies for an event like this, and is able to have an experience like that, with getting to see, sorry, there's a bug flying around me, with getting to see, Tracy and Trina and Melanie, and work out with Autumn, and go to corporate and get to meet these guys, and get to see a lot of, what it is to be at corporate and at an event, and really have the red carpet, rolled out for you, and the spotlight put on you. And all of a sudden people go, man, I want a piece of that. That's what I want. That I want to sit in the front row. I want to, not have to wait in line at the core, or, not have, on the cruise, or whatever it is. I want some of those privileges and rights. And what do I do to get those things? And what does that mean for my business? A lot of times I don't even think people raise those issues. They don't even question them. They don't even think about, well, gee, if I got to Premier, last year we organized a group, which both Jen and Dia were a part of, where we said, hey, we're charging for either Premier or Elite. Elite would be great. But, I went from a kind of a shaky 2-star to Elite last year. And I know how hard that is, and it's difficult. But, I said, let's focus on getting to either one of those marks, because I just know what 125 Elite points does for your business, and what that does for your paycheck, and what it does for the impact on your life and the lives of all those people who, join you in this business. And I take that obligation really, really seriously. And as we, started to work on those things, people started to see what was going on, and they started to go, man, I've got 50 Elite points here. And wow, I'm starting to pay attention to my ATV. I'm starting to pay attention to how many of my coaches are making Success Club. And I'm starting to own that part of my business and recognize that I can influence a lot of that stuff. I can't get people to get up off their butt and go do it, but I can take charge of making sure that they understand what to do, and they understand how to focus, and that I can give them some rewards and recognition, even if it's just a handwritten note or something posted on your Facebook page. Those things all make a huge difference in the way people react to what it is that you're trying to teach them how to do. And so I think it's just huge, that aspect of, giving people permission to go out and have some success. So I kind of have to wrap here, but I want to give you just another chance, Dia. What else do you have for us? What's your gem that you took away that, you don't want anybody to miss out on?
Oh, wow. There were so many. And we've been sort of talking about them as a team each week since leadership.
Well, talk about that. So what you're doing, you took what you learned there, and now you're passing it down. Talk to me about that.
Oh, absolutely. They gave us this, little workbook, with the PowerPoints and the slides. And I'm a note taker, so I take notes. And, the lessons that we learned, right? Because success leaves clues. And so if people are successful, I am going to try to do what they do, right? Because I don't need to redo something that hasn't been done if what has been done is working. So I'm all about, taking the information and figuring out, what is going to work for our team, because you don't want to get distracted with all the noise of the things that you hear, but that there are certain things that you can decide, that this will, this will change our business, or this will help us, grow or help us succeed. Because one thing I want to say that, I hope wasn't missed is that when you become an elite coach, it's not about you at all. It's about your team, coming together to reach a common goal. It's about right, that same trust that that the team that they put in you as their leader. That when you become an elite coach or a premier coach or whatever, it's not about you. It's about the fact that now you have people who are behind you and want to do this with you and will support you on your journey. And that shouldn't be taken lightly. And so when you become elite, or you become premier, or you get these wonderful rank advancements, and you get your bling or whatever, we have an obligation to bring that stuff back to our team, because if we're not for our team, or is not for our team, we wouldn't be where we are. So yes, I'm going to go to every single event that I can go to, so that I can bring everything I've learned and everything that they have allowed me to do. For us, we are the elite team. It's not me. We are the elite team. So everything that we earn as elite goes back to the team, so that more of us can become elite, and more of us can rise, and more of us can make more of an impact on the people who we're supposed to. So yeah.
Well, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what leadership looks like. If you're wondering, that's what leadership looks like. It's about understanding that. I love that they gave you guys a workbook with, the PowerPoint presentations and a place to take some notes, and a place to take that information and bring it back to your people, because that really is, on some level, that's just a huge piece of what we do. It's one of the aspects of this business I love the most, is teaching. I love that I get this chance every week to stand, to come here in front of you guys and teach you something. And even if that's just having somebody else come on and teach you, I really enjoy doing that. I have a lot of fun with it, and I think that it has yielded major results. The thing you have to recognize is that not everybody's going to listen. Not everybody's going to want to learn. Some people are stuck, and you can lead the horse to water, and they're still not going to drink, and that's just reality. But you don't ever do it for that. I think at the moment, I guess just my advice for you, at the moment you start to dumb down your training for the people who are lazy, for lack of a better term, that's the moment that things fall apart. You can't set the bar low. You have to set the bar high, and you have to just be willing to accept that not everybody's going to get over it. And that's okay. Not everybody's going to get over that bar. That's why they call it elite. They don't call it you did okay. They call it you're an elite coach. Why? Because you did something that's really special and something really unique. And that's why we have elite and premier, and that's why we continue to set the bar really high. I don't dumb down my stuff for people. I know sometimes it's complicated and technical and all the rest of it, but my expectation is that, if I do something, the training I gave at our Diamond Retreat was a great example. I put together that training, and I figured, hey, if there's 5 people who get what I'm talking about, it's worth it. And it was more like 20. And I was really pleasantly surprised that it came out that way. But I debated that, and with Jimmy, in fact, about whether I was going to do this training about email marketing, because I knew it was going to be super technical and a lot of people weren't going to get it. And the fact that as many people did as happened, I was really pleasantly surprised with. So, I really appreciate you coming on the call. I appreciate, your leadership and, guidance and giving us some insight. I hope that you guys will really set your sights this year on getting to that new leader conference. If you're in that category of somebody who is 1-star or below, getting to 2-star, it will change your business. I can just tell you that. It will change your business. Opening a second business center, going to something like this new leadership retreat, really also has an opportunity to change your team. And ultimately, I think that's what it's all about. It's about, taking your people and making them better and giving them the best opportunity you can to succeed. So I have to run because I got to get my son from water polo practice. But thanks again, Dia. I really appreciate you taking the time. to talk with us tonight and sharing your experiences from the New Leader Conference.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll check in with you next week, and get your people to go to Training Camp Dallas and register for that thing, and then get your name on that list for that Google document, and add your people. If you know their names and email addresses, add them as well, so that I'm in touch with everybody and I can start to kind of put together these Zoom calls that I want to organize for you guys. All right, everybody. Have a great night, and I will catch you next week.
You too. Bye.